Hello, and this is my new what if, where what if Deku was the reincarnation of Whitebeard, or Edward New Cage, whatever you want to call him. So, in this, Deku's consciousness doesn't actually exist. It's Edward's consciousness that gets reincarnated into Deku's body. So yeah, so he's much more wiser and older, well, not older physically, but mentally he's very old. So yeah. He actually starts to see something when he's like at the age of 4. Because keep in mind, the real consciousness of the human brain doesn't actually like kick into motion until they're like 4 or 5 years old. I'm gonna put it at 5. Somehow Deku already knows about quirks and everything, and he knows about his past life. Yeah. Actually, no, Edward knows about quirks and everything in his past life. And so he decides, and he notices that, and he knows already that he does not have a father figure, so he wants to try to create a family and be a family man, because that's what really he only wants, to have a big, happy family. Sorry if my voice cracked. But yeah. And so we go to the quirk doctors, and guess what? It's the same Dr. Orakodaki. No, not Demon Slayer, no. You know, I'm just gonna put his last name as Orakodaki because I feel like that's what the bushy mustache, weird goggly eye dude's last name is. So, yeah. He tells Inko that, so, Midoriya, well, why do I keep calling him Midoriya and Deku? No. Edward goes to the quirk doctor with Inko to get his quirk done because he would like a power like he did in his past life. But then, guess what? It's the doctor that tends to All for One. And, yeah. So, when why do I keep calling him that? Ugh. But when Edward, the doctor or Kodaki, he says that Deku is quirkless, which she actually isn't. He just shows a fake X-ray of Deku. I'm just gonna call him Deku or Edward or Midoriya, whatever. But he shows a fake X-ray of him having an extra pinky toe, which was fabricated. Now, Deku does have a quirk, but the doctor says that he isn't because Midoriya actually has a very powerful quirk. So yeah. So Edward just breaks down in tears because he wanted to protect his loved ones. And I know it's Edward, you're not going to expect him to cry, but he really wanted to have a new family, and he knows what quirkless people are treated like in this world. Yeah. So his heart just breaks because he did actually want to become the world's strongest person like he did in his past life. So yeah. So they go home, Deku eats some katsuran that Inko made for him, and they just go to sleep. But right after the doctor's appointment, Dr. Orakaraki went and reported to All for One that his son has an amazing quirk. And All for One tells the League of Villains to go kidnap Deku the night, and that's what happens. Yeah. They experiment on Deku and everything. They try to turn him into a Nomu. All for One steals his quirk and everything. Yeah. But then one day, there's a hero there's a villain raid. Not really a villain raid, but a hero raid. Where the hero raids, okay, so here are the heroes that raid on the League of Villains base. Okay, so there is All Might. Oh yeah, look, it's hard for me, okay? Aizawa, please don't judge me. Endeavor, even though he's a poopy head in the canon. Mirko, Fat Gum, Sir Night Eye, and all these different people come in, like, the top 50 heroes come and raid on the League of Villains base. So yeah. I'm sorry if you hear some background noise, it's just, I'm still living with my parents, guys. Please don't judge me. But yeah. So, they eventually hear some muffled screaming, which was Aizawa and All Might that heard it. And they bust down the door and they see a kid, Midoriya, screaming in the tube filled with water. All Might breaks him out and they save him, but he says thank you, but then he falls unconscious. Yeah. At this point, Midoriya, give me 1 second. Midoriya is 7 to 8 years old. Like in a few months, he's about to turn 8. So he's 7.5 years old, and he is 5'6". I know, and if that's taller than some of you guys, I don't know what to tell you. That's just sad. Yeah. But anyways, so, yeah. I know some of you are wondering what was his original quirk that made him get kidnapped. His quirk was called the Hito Hito. And if some of you know what that is, you're OGs. But for some of you that don't know, that is Luffy's devil fruit. Yeah. If he didn't get his quirk taken away, Luffy would have actually reincarnated as him. But no, it was Whitebeard that did. Because remember, Whitebeard didn't have a devil fruit when he was Luffy's age. So, yeah, instead of Luffy being reincarnated into Deku, it was Whitebeard. Yeah. Hold on, just let me pause this. I need to think of some more plot. Alright, and I am back after a few minute break, actually. Because I am terribly sick. So, yeah. So, like I think I remember saying that he got knocked out. No, he didn't get knocked out. He just fell unconscious. But yeah, when he wakes up, he finds himself in Recovery Girl's office, laying in a doctor bed. Yeah. The pro heroes are kind of, a little more dumb in this universe. Like, only a little bit. So, they don't do a background check of Izuku. But they just, they just take care of him for a few days and they release him. Now, at the time, Nezu is the only one smart enough to think to do a background check. Aizawa also thinks of that too. But they thought that All Might asked for a background check on Izuku, which All Might didn't because the meathead. Oh god, that's funny, the meathead. I can just imagine All Might in another universe saying, ouch. Oh god. But yeah. So they discharge him and, he's let back out into the world again. For some reason, he feels like he should go to the forest. Now he goes to the forest and... Hold on, wait. Hmm. Like I said, I'm sorry, I'm terribly sick. So, like I said, he feels like he should go to the forest. And he does. And he sees this white, shining fruit hanging from a tree. It looks kind of like a pear, but if a pear was bleached, had swirls on it, and is shiny. Now, obviously, you know what this is, One Piece fans. This is the Gara Gara no Mi. And yes, I do say Gara Gara no Mi. I don't say Gora Gora. I say Gora Gora for the lightning fruit. The Gara Gara fruit is for the Whitebeard's fruit. But yeah. So, 10,000 years ago, Whitebeard had actually died. And Marshall D. Teach took his fruit by taking one of Whitebeard's teeth and putting it in his mouth. Ultimately giving him Whitebeard's devil fruit because everything has DNA. Tooth, fingernails, everything. And so, yeah. But then when Marshall Teach died, when Teach died, then, the Whitebeard fruit was reincarnated into the nearest fruit that looks like a pear. You all know Whitebeard's fruit looks like a pear. And apparently that was 10,000 miles away. In a land called... Hold on, wait, let me do some research real quick. Alright, and the fruit was spawned into a land that was protected by something. Protected by Yamato. Yeah. But it was so hidden that nobody could ever find it. So, for decades it just rotted away and then spawned back at that very specific island. Because in my AU, the land of Wano that Yamato protects grows a lot, and I mean a lot of pears. At 2 million a month. No, not a month, a year. So yeah. And it's not like they're actually farming them, it's just they grow so much. It's just the people that live in Wano really love pears. And you're asking, oh, so that means somebody ate Whitebeard's fruit? No. Because for some reason, every single time someone found Whitebeard's fruit, it would just decay. And when a fruit starts to decay or gets a little bit of mold on it, then it is no longer a devil fruit. It's just a weird looking rotten fruit. So yeah. That's in my AU, so yeah. And so actually I did some research. Young Japan was actually named Yamato. Or Yamato. So guess what? In my AU, early Japan was actually Wano. Yeah. And all the other little countries came together and connected into the continents we know today. And if you're thinking about something, I know. Luffy's hometown is only the size of one city. Now, in my alternate universe, sorry. But in my alternate universe, Luffy's hometown eventually became the city of San Antonio. Yes, I live there. Don't judge me. Okay. But yeah. So then he just finds it, he recognizes it, and he immediately eats it. And yeah, he gets back his devil fruit powers. I forgot what I was going to say earlier. Oh, about Whitebeard's quirk? Well, about Deku's quirk. It was actually the ability to think of any concept and make that into reality. And All For One wanted that, and he brought devil fruits back into the world because he's centuries old, actually. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah. And luckily, well, and then after that, Whitebeard just lives in the forest where he found his devil fruit again. He just trains and trains and trains, and guess what? He gets back Conqueror's Haki, Armament Haki, Advanced Armament Haki, Advanced Observation Haki, Regular Observation Haki, and Advanced Conqueror's Haki. Yeah. That is pretty amazing. Also, by this time, he is now 10 years old. Yeah, he is 10 years old. Now, people that knew him before he was kidnapped, they think that he is quirkless. He is, but he has the devil fruit. He has the strongest devil fruit in the fucking universe. And please do not take that down, YouTube, because I swear to God. But yeah. Whew. Sorry, that hurt my throat for some reason, just saying, whoo. Yeah. But anyways, the reason why I say that the Meathead All Might was stupid to not run a background check was because Izuku's mom, the night after Izuku was kidnapped, the next morning, the cops went to her house because there was a police report because there was a disturbance there. And when they walked inside of the house, they saw Inko dead. Yeah. And if you're asking, where's Hisashi? Well, a few years earlier, Hisashi was walking out of the mall with Midoriya. They were walking to an alleyway because they had to park their car on the side of the road because the mall parking lot is super packed. So they had to walk through Crime Alley, if you know what I mean. And there was a robber. The robber tried to mug Hisashi. Hisashi didn't like that, so he tried to take the mugger down. Hisashi didn't know that the mugger had a gun. He was shot in the chest. Midoriya. Hisashi said this. Izuku, please. Oh no, wait, no, not Izuku. No. Edward, please. Please keep smiling. For me. And the light went out of Hisashi's eyes. Izuku was devastated, but he did as his father asked for. His last wish was for him to keep smiling and to try to have a family. Yeah. So when Izuku found out that Inko died, Izuku was devastated. He went on a rampage to the forest he lived in for 2 months. And when he stopped after his rampaging of 2 months, he finally remembered that his father didn't want him to be like that. His father wanted him to have a happy life. And so, Midoriya, everybody still thinks that he is missing. Yeah. So, Midoriya just collected trees, built a house, and lived in the woods. When Midoriya is 13, he is 12'6". I know what you guys are thinking. What the hell are you doing, Aiden? Let me explain. When Whitebeard is in his prime... Sorry about that, but when Whitebeard is in his prime, Whitebeard is 22 foot tall. And when he's in his prime, he's like 26. Yeah. No, he's like... No, he's in his, like, he's 35 when he's 22 foot tall. But I'm just going to give Midoriya some plot armor and give him an even more fast growing spurt. So now, when he is 26 or 20, he will be 22 foot tall. And he is already 12 foot 6 right now, so he's already taller than All Might, actually, which is just sad. Yeah. Sorry about that. No, I'm not crying, it's just... I feel bad for him. But then, when he's 13 and he's 12 foot 6, the pro hero Aizawa, All Might, and Nezu go into the forest because they heard because there was a police report to them that there was a disturbance there, and that someone may have been living there without a license to be living there, which I know, the law, stupid, but yeah. So then, they walk around in the forest, and the forest is very luscious. Not the other kind of luscious you're thinking of. No, it's very green. Very, very green. But then they start seeing these trees that look like they were punched out of existence. Because that's how strong Whitebeard is. Now, obviously, I'm going to make Deku kind of OP in this one. Now, in this one, there is going to be a few users of Conqueror. Well, there's only going to be one other user that uses Conqueror's Haki besides Deku. And in this one, that user is going to be All For One. I know. Plot. But when they eventually stop walking, they see a little house covered in greens and everything. But then they feel something they feel like there's something behind them. So they look and they see a 12 foot 6 man, which they think it's a man. And they're just scared out of their pants. The lightest way I can put it without getting demonetized. Okay. I have pain and suffering from that. But anyways, yeah. God. So Nezu asks who he is, and Edward says, "My name is Edward. Edward Midoriya." And Nezu, All Might, and Aizawa's eyes widen with shock, realizing that that's the kid they had helped a few years ago that got knocked out. And which obviously, yeah. Yeah. And then they realize it's him, and they're shocked on how tall and beefy he is. And let me tell you, Edward does not joke around about his protein or training regimen. Okay, he gets on that grind every single day except for the weekends, because it's not good to always keep the muscles super strained. Yeah. Oh. Hold on, wait. And my phone is glitching out. Hold on, wait 1 second. Anyways, yeah, I'm back. Yeah. Oh, God. It's just, guys, I'm super sick. How long has this thing been going? 22 minutes.